What's up, guys? Today we're playing Transformers Battlegrounds. This video was sponsored by Outright Games. Right off the bat, I want to talk about something, because this game, everybody that sees this game, the first thing you're going to notice is the visuals. I have always been a gameplay over graphics person, and I just want to say I have played this game a lot, and it is a legitimately good strategy game. You may not, be super into the style or the graphics of it, but honestly, a little while into playing the game, I was not thinking at all about that. I'm only thinking about, I gotta move this guy here, I gotta shoot this person. It wasn't even really part of what I was thinking about, because this is it's like a turn-based strategy game, and it's a hell of a lot of fun, and I thought it was really well designed.
I'm really happy that you brought up the graphics, because like when I started playing this game, I'm like, I don't know, is this the way it looked, the way it felt, is this really something I want to get into? But then as I played 1 level, 2 level, 3 level, 4 level, I started thinking to myself, wow, I am having fun. There is a lot to do here, and I think the turn-based system that they've built here has a lot of flexibility and gives you a lot of tactical choice without having a bunch of menus and without having a bunch of crap going on.
The thing that I think is a shame, I think a lot of people are going to be instantly dismissive of it, and this is a great case of don't judge a book by its cover. I legitimately enjoy this game, but I could understand somebody looking at this and being like, why isn't it just G1 Transformers?
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I think that's a valid criticism. Why didn't they go with G1? Right now, we have, all the beautiful G1 stuff, Transformers the movie, the new Netflix show, which I love, the Transformers Rise and Earthrise, the trilogy.
Yeah, the Netflix show. Yeah, I've been watching the Netflix show as well. Well, there's 3 different arcs or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been watching that. I'm really enjoying that too. So if you've ever played games possibly like XCOM, you might know what you're getting into here, or Advanced Wars or something like that.
Yeah, so it's
sort of like
definitely,
those.
it's not a tactical game like a JRPG like Final Fantasy Tactics or Disgaea or something like that. It's more like Advanced Wars or Into the Breach,
but this is
more
its
XCOM.
Thing. Yeah, and this is its own thing. And it's not just like a cookie cutter, like, rip off of like XCOM or anything like that. There's a character in this game who I think is new to it, and her name is Windblade.
Yeah.
She has a move where she can actually push enemies with wind. She's called Windblade. She's not in the original like Transformers, I don't think. And basically, what's cool about her is that she can use her wind to like push like a car or a truck or something into a Decepticon, which will injure them, or she can use the wind ability to just like push like Starscream like into a building or something. Or not only is it hurting the enemy, but it's also pushing the enemy away, because the big part about this game is that it's a lot about how you're using the action points that you get.
Yeah, the action point system is really cool. Each character gets 3 action points per turn, and while you can only attack once, the way you use those action points, there's a variety of ways you can do it. So you may do a weak attack, which only takes 1 action point. Or you may be standing in the right place at the beginning of the turn and use all 3 of your action points to do a devastating attack. Mm-hmm. Or some balance in between. So I really found it interesting that I could do a 1-point move, shoot someone, and then do a 1-point move again to hide back behind something.
Yeah.
And being able to break it up between moving and attacking and the strength of your attacks was really satisfying, and I like that a lot.
Moving beyond that, then there's also the ultimate attack. Now, the ultimate attack, you can only... and there's 2 of them. You can only use those if you have Energon. And from what I played, how you get the Energon, let's say you're playing and you have a move left to go. If you don't use it and it's like unspent points, on your next round you will gain Energon, and you'll be able to use that Energon to do these ultimate attacks.
You get Energon from every action you take, but the action that gets the most energy is to not do any action at all. And
that's a better way to
Energon is a shared resource that everyone on the team has. So I've done things like, my Energon gauge is almost full or almost halfway full. I'm going to have this guy run over here, because then I get the Energon points.
Yeah.
And then I can do the special move. And I've done that a few times.
Grimlock Fury!
Yeah, I have to say about the difficulty, I mean, do what you're comfortable with, but If you're playing this game through on an easy difficulty and you're just sort of breezing through the game, I think you're kind of robbing yourself of the experience.
Yeah, I mean, remember, at the end of the day, this is a game, it's a strategy game that you could amp up and make it very difficult and very appropriate for an older person, but they start you on easy. It's not like a type of game that starts you on a medium difficulty. You want to move it up from the get-go.
So this is a game that I think they were also considering, a younger audience, and also the style of the game. So I think that really, I think they had to make a decision because they want to. It's Transformers, so they also want to make this for kids.
Yeah, I think it would be a great game to play with your kids that are just getting into Transformers.
Yeah. Also, maybe if you're playing on easy mode, if you want to like show your kids like strategy games like this.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the environment and the mechanics in the environment. What's cool is that if you use some of your Transformers that can fly, they can actually like fly over buildings.
Yeah, I think it's definitely probably one of the best uses of flight in one of these games because it affects their movement range, what they can move over. And the enemy does it all the time because there's a lot of the Seekers, like
they're moving
all over the place.
They're mostly the Decepticons,
yeah.
but you do have a few that can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the movement is great, but then also some cover. There's like dust storms that you could trigger and things like that. Oh, there's not cover? Oh, I'll shoot this thing. Now there's cover where I need it to be. Mm-hmm. There's situations where the enemy is hiding behind a car and you just blow up the car and kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is great.
So let's go through the different characters in this game. They start you off, you have Bumblebee. Bumblebee's your basic character. I believe that he's a little bit weaker than the other characters, but where he lacks with the strength, he definitely makes up for with his ability to like lock down your enemies. Next character, RC and Wheeljack, which are both your healers. And well, they can attack too, and actually their attacks are pretty good, but if you're in trouble, they can heal each other. And later in the game, also, those characters will get a grenade, which is actually a very good, it's a very good weapon, and you'll be excited to get it. And what I like is that when you play late into the game, you're still getting cool things like later on, so the game is still rewarding you. So it's not like they just threw all the ideas up front. It's like, oh, new things are happening later on.
I had an issue with Wheeljack and really more RC being your healers. Wheeljack, I could kind of see him being a healer because he worked on different things, but it should have been Ratchet.
Oh,
yeah. Because I love Ratchet in New War for Cybertron, where he's just trying to be a doctor and heal people.
You're right.
Yeah,
he's like the doctor.
He's the doctor. That would have been awesome.
I didn't even think of that.
And RC, you have Bumblebee being the fast scout, disable, lock people down, the rogue-like character. It'd be cool to have RC being more like an assassin, sniper.
They could have switched
thing.
up.
They get abilities later in the game that do make RC and Wheeljack very different. Mm-hmm. I don't want to mention, Wheeljack is one of my favorite Transformers. I got the mail-away one when I was a kid, and that was awesome. Yeah. I love him.
Now, I gotta talk about Grimlock in this game. Okay, so y'all know Grimlock. He's the Dinobot. He's got that voice, and so the thing is, at first, when he first starts talking in the game, he's got this voice like, hello, I am Grimlock, how are you today, or whatever, and you're like, wait a second, that doesn't sound like Grimlock. But then he changes into Dinobot form, and then he's doing the classic me Grimlock and all that. Sometimes he'll be in Dinobot form and he's doing hello, how are you voice, and it's not very fitting. And I found myself very I didn't understand why there's no consistency there. I thought that was weird, honestly.
Yeah, my biggest problem with Grimlock is I felt like the voice actor was channeling Beast from the X-Men, right?
The Decepticons chose tyranny and division. We stand as one.
Whereas it's like Grimlock should be either the leader character that he is in the comics, or he should be the dinosaur dude from the show.
Yeah.
And
I just thought the voice shouldn't alternate like
it's
that.
Weird.
I think just pick one. The music is actually really good. The music and the sound effects, it's got this orchestral soundtrack that I thought actually sounded really good. So the length of the game. So this game is roughly about 20 hours long, give or take, depending on how long it takes you to get through missions and whatnot. And you might say, is that enough to like justify the price? But you got to also remember that this has an arcade mode to it. Yeah. That has like an infinite score attack. It has its own progression. I didn't get that much into that, honestly, but that's still something I still need to do. I might play this game more on stream, actually, because I'm really enjoying it. Just the idea of a Transformers game that's like a turn-based strategy game, like right there, you have a winning concept. If this game does well, I hope that one day there's a sequel. It would be nice to have this done in different types of Transformer styles. And you might think like, oh, that's Mike only wants to just see the G1 style. Not really. It would actually be cool to see different styles.
Right now, Takara Tomy and Hasbro are starting to do more Masterpiece Beast Wars ones.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want them to do a Beast Wars one if they weren't giving us a G1 or a Transformers one.
Right.
But, the more that Beast Wars ages, the more I want to kind of do stuff with it.
Yeah.
So I think it would be cool if we had a sequel to this where there was some type of, like, Beast Wars section. Another thing I would like to see is the Transformers of different sizes being in it. Like, what if they fought Scorponok or Metroplex was in it, or more like gigantic ones that take up more than one square? Like, what would it be like to fight Devastator?
Yeah.
In this, where he takes up like 6 squares.
I don't know how that would work, but I'm like, that would be cool to see them figure that out.
Yeah,
yeah.
Especially because like Optimus is like the biggest. I mean, hey, we didn't even talk about it. This is my Power Master Optimus from when I was a kid, and I have it here. I had to replace some of the things because I lost them as a kid, like the shoulders and stuff. But he's complete now.
It was raining today, so I didn't bring all my Transformers over. I was going to.
Yeah, but I would have liked to see. Yeah, I would like to see some bigger ones. When Shockwave was summoning the drones in the one level, I would have liked to have seen Soundwave ejecting tapes.
Oh, yeah.
Because that'd be really cool. And I don't think that the Soundwave in the current Transformers has tapes.
Well, in the Netflix show, I saw I saw like Ravage and stuff, but I don't know that he turns into a tape though.
Right.
Like I saw him like as the dog, but it wasn't like a tape. So I don't know what they're doing with that.
Yeah. But
and like Laserbeak's in there too, I think.
Yeah, it's like I definitely would have liked to have seen Soundwave do Soundwave stuff.
Yeah. The thing is that like the game is really good. It's just the style is not what it should be.
Yeah.
In fact, it's kind of weird. Like, there's a new Netflix show out right now. Why not make it just like that?
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Yeah. And the new Netflix show even has all the characters.
Yeah. Well, no. But this game has a ton of characters. Like, this game had Shockwave in it, and Shockwave is my favorite Transformer. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, if they have Shockwave, that'll be cool. But also, what's he gonna look like? Because you see like the Michael Bay Transformers, and then he makes Devastator look like a giant pile of shit and all that. And you're like, what the fuck? So I'm playing this, and then Shockwave comes up, and I was like, oh, okay, he looks good.
He looks like Shockwave.
He looks like Shockwave. And then Soundwave comes up, and I'm like, he looks like Soundwave. Like they look like how they're gonna look. I think where it's more jarring, it's not that the Transformers don't look like G1 Transformers. It's when the little face comes up in the corner and they're talking, where that doesn't look like it.
Right.
Yeah,
the key art is a little weird.
The key art, yeah. So
yeah, but you can go to Target right now and those toys exist, but they're next to the ones from the Netflix show.
Right.
So like,
oh, do they have toys in the Netflix show?
Yeah,
one? I haven't seen that.
They do.
That's
all of them.
Yeah.
And they've been selling them for like, the toys started coming out like 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Like they're like
ahead of the game.
A little bit.
Right.
Like now they're, Earthrise isn't even out yet, and they're like getting to the end of it.
Right.
Yeah.
This game for me is a recommend because of how good the gameplay is. If you want to sit there and go through a campaign of a game that you're going to have fun with the gameplay, this is a good game.
Yeah, coming off of playing games like Into the Breach, I needed this. So it's a good time to be playing this type of game, and it's pretty decent. We played this game on Steam on PC, but you can also get this game at GameStop, Walmart, and Amazon.